So one really cool thing about Harkin is actually a fairly good unit. He's actually, you know, this is the example I always kind of talk about when it comes to promoted units. If it's a unit that you don't really have good coverage for on your team, like if you're really kind of missing like a very fast and strong, hard-hitting unit that you would probably get with other teams, Harkin would honestly be a good fit because he's kind of at that like promoted stage where he's not too far promoted and he still has some stats he can gain. And, you know, he won't actually, like, he won't die easily, but he won't also be, like, super kill everything in hog experience mode either. So he's someone that can definitely fit on your team if you just need, like, a little extra power on your team and you don't need to or really want to worry about raising a unit from the very beginning. So definitely a unit I would recommend, probably one of the better pre-promoted units in the game. Probably not as good as Pent is, but still, you know, kind of like Corel. I think Corel and Harkin are actually pretty solid units that you can pretty much put on your team if you need someone who can do the duties that they do well. He also comes with a Brave Sword, which is a really awesome weapon. I don't really need to say much about the Brave weapons. Basically, it's a weapon you can always double with, and in fact, if you're fast enough and you can actually, you know, outspeed the other unit, you can actually attack 4 times with it. So really, really good weapon. It's a weapon that, in Guy's hands, would be absolutely deadly. Think about it, just like 4 attacks, and like any one of those attacks could critical easily. So it's a very, very good weapon for Guy, and I might actually give it to him later. But yeah, that's pretty much Harkin. Pretty cool unit. I've always really liked the look of Harkin too. I don't know what it was. Like, I feel like in the past, and this is, you know, kind of a dorky thing to kind of talk about, but, you know, I always kind of envisioned myself, like, if you ever kind of envisioned yourself as a Fire Emblem unit, I'd kind of envision myself as a Harkin a little bit. Like, you just someone who's, like, you know, still has those, like, chivalrous knightly instincts, but is not necessarily, like, just a knight, just someone who can, like, who would go in and, like, attack and try his best to defeat the enemy. Maybe not necessarily in the same sacrificial lamb sort of way that Harkin tries to kind of come across as, but I don't know. I always kind of saw myself, like, if I could be one unit in Fire Emblem, like, I'd be kind of like that type of unit, I guess. He's not my favorite character, though. I don't really like him as a character that much. It's more so just, like, I like the class. It's a cool class. The fact that you can use swords and axes is really, really cool. And, you know, very high strength, very high speed, very high skill, and the fact that you're using swords also is a nice attribute to that as well. I hope that made sense. I feel like I'm just kind of like blabbering on, but we're getting there. We're almost done with this chapter. We still have like a bit to do because there's still a lot of reinforcements to kind of worry about as well. So we'll have to knock all those down. But yeah, we still have 15 units to destroy, and we can finally open the doors now because we have Harkin. And yep, there's the... As you can see, I was not expecting that to be the mercenary and hero room. I just was not expecting that. I would have probably sent someone else if I knew that was going to be that room. But it's fine. It's fine because, you know, Barter has a lot of defense. He has a lot of HP. He's not going to die to a bunch of weak sword units. It's all going to work out, guys. I had to drink something right there. So once again, I've been talking non-stop. Also, yeah, I saw these guys were Axe Reavers, so I decided to go ahead and send Farina down there with her Iron Sword. Farina just still proving that she's an amazing unit. Just the fact he can double a sword unit It has, you know, the hit percentage is higher than the sword unit hitting an axe unit, which is just kind of shows you how weak these enemy units really are. This is going to be a bit more even. Not much, though. Okay, cool. I didn't actually kill him, so I can actually get the kill with someone else now, too. Oh, you know why I didn't kill him? I think it's because the axe broke right there. I probably still would have actually been able to double him. Which is kind of funny. Solid crit there, guy. You didn't even need it. You didn't even need it, but I'll definitely take it. The level up could have been a little better, though. You're a sword master. You don't exactly need speed anymore. Although, I don't know. Speed, I guess, is not too bad to still get. Especially since we do have the brave weapon. Because the brave weapons are actually pretty heavy. And because they're heavy, you know, you'll still get that ×2 attack, but ×4 attack. That's something to be excited about. Okay, so now I'm gonna start trying to open up all of these frickin' rooms because, well, this chapter is taking its sweet time, I'll just say that much. So I'm basically taking Matthew up there to open that fortress. Of course it starts snowing too, and of course there's reinforcements. My god, these reinforcements. It looks like they all have Reaver weapons too. I think for this I can just, yeah, use a sword. And I think I actually got rid of Eliwood's rapier because it didn't have very many uses. Like, I think I only had like 5 uses left, so I'll just use the long sword and maybe even an armor slayer if I need it. Honestly, I think Eliwood can get along just fine with just a long sword. Because normally, like, why would you want to fight like an armored unit with a sword when there are axe units around? It just makes more sense to just keep Eliwood as a horseman destroying unit as opposed to an armor one. Because at least with cavaliers, at least they can have a better chance of having a weapon that you're strong or neutral against, as opposed to knights and generals, which will more than likely always have a lance equipped. I guess they do have axes when they promote, but still, it's still neutral and never mind. Forget that thought I was actually on right there. I was thinking too hard. I just think the longsword's probably better. It's better definitely in this case, at the very least. It makes sense to use it here. See, this way I can get him some more experience, because I guess my Eliwood is still kind of slow, at least in terms of not really having like a really high speed rating. So when it comes to kind of some of those like heavier swords and heavier weapons, he still can't quite double. Which I feel like in the Eliwood playthrough, it was the opposite, where he could double like everything because his speed was through the roof. Because my Eliwood was seriously on fire in the previous playthrough. He's still fine, like he's not like unusable. I just miss what he was before this. That's really what it boils down to. See, we have more of those damn wyverns too. I swear, this chapter is just full of units. When you think you've got them all, they just bring up a whole bunch of new ones. I will say it is fun to kind of promote Elliewood first, though. Also, meh. Strength is great, but he could have gotten more from that, I think. So there we go, we have a bunch of archers. I think what I'm going to do there is probably just send Elliewood back. And yep, here's the room full of the knights. Still using Canas for healing. I think he's just about at C rank, which is where I really want him to be. Oh, actually, right there. Yeah, there. He's at C rank now. Yeah, you want to get, like, if you're going to be training a unit like, you know, Canas, the physical magic units, I find that, like, you definitely want to use staff experience until you get to C, because C is when you get the physics staff, which is quite easily the best staff in the game. It recovers a whole lot. You can do it from a distance. It's just really, really good. So now that he's actually at that point where he can use the physics staff, I'm probably just going to use him for dark magic now, and then not even worry about healing for the rest of the game. Unless if I, like, really need it or something. Because let's be real, I don't want to be stupid about it. I don't want to just, like, you know, just, like, never heal. Because there is value in healing. I just want to make sure I watch who I heal with. Because I don't want to use frickin' stabs with Sarah anymore. It's already pretty obvious that I'm probably not going to get to the S rank of light magic with her, so... But I mean, that's also what Athos is pretty much for, too, so... It's really not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so now we have 2 buildings of units to get through, as well as the wyverns, so I kind of like what I did here. Because the way I kind of moved in this part of the map is I did it in a way where I could, one, just kind of give experience to my weaker units, or my units that have less experience and less levels. And I also try to make a chain where I can really start to focus on getting Matthew down to the other building, because as I discovered here, there is a chest inside this building in the south. Of course, when Matthew is on the other side of the frickin' map. But either way, there is a treasure chest down there, so if I want to get that, I need to send Matthew all the way back down when he's in the north, just to get that treasure chest, then do support grinding, then finish the map. So at this point I was like, oh my god, this chapter's never going to end. And I'm already moving like really slow because of the snow, so I was definitely kind of feeling the effects of this. But again, like I said, I think I handled this pretty well. I think I kind of saw this as a way to, okay, well, let me just use my resources. I have a lot of very mobile units. Because, I mean, let's be real. I have Elliewood, who is a paladin. I have Sane, who is a paladin. I have 2 flying units. That's like 4 mounted and long-range units. And when I say long-range, I mean in terms of movement. So I can actually get through the field of battle pretty quickly. And if I were to bring, like, Ninian, that's one of those units that gets to move again, which is also pretty nice. So yeah, I'm going to move Elliewood a bit closer to the archers so he can attack them. And I'll be using probably Oswin to take out the Wyvern Knights. I also have these chest keys that I want to... I'm basically going to use Elliewood to open that chest because I want to kind of get Matthew down there now. But as you can see, like, I have like enough units in like every part of the map so I can actually get Matthew down there pretty quickly, considering. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool how I handled that. Not to toot my own horn or pat myself on the back too much, but again, it is something I was personally proud of a bit. See, like, I have Harkin, who can actually rescue a unit pretty easily. Barter can rescue a unit pretty easily. Oswin can rescue a unit pretty easily. I have a lot of bulky and, like, high aid units, which is really, really nice to have. Okay, so I can't quite double the guy with the poison bow just yet. But it's fine, because I can kill him now, in addition to fighting all these other fools. And yay, we're down to under 10 units left, finally. That took a while. And yeah, I'm gonna need to upgrade to the steel axe here to actually get some extra damage in. I really just love the way the generals attack. I love how, like, all the weapons are kind of attached by a chain. It just looks really, really cool and really, really intimidating, too. There's just something really, really cool about that. Okay, let's get rid of these wyverns. And I feel like Oswin is, like, really, really high leveled here. Probably my highest leveled unit, if it's not Heath or Barter. Also, I'll go ahead and address this now, because I'm sure a lot of people have been just, like, tearing up the comments section. I know it's supposed to be Bartray. Like, I don't know. Like, I've heard both, honestly, and I've been calling him Barter my entire life. Since I've been playing this game, anyway. I don't know why, like, it just... Bartray just sounds weird. It just sounds like a really weird name. It's just a really weird way to say his name. I don't know what it is, like, I just think Barter sounds better than Bartray. I don't know. I know I should be better at that, because this is supposed to be, you know, a playthrough, a let's play of this game that I supposedly, like, know a lot about. But again, you can't just break old habits that easily. So I hope you guys at least understand that. Like, I know it's supposed to be Bartray, but, like, I don't know, Barter just sounds like that's... I say Barter, I look at him and I'm like, okay, that's his name. I say Bartray, and it's like, I don't see that. I really don't see that. And it's not like they pronounce the name of it in-game. Like, this is a Game Boy Advance game with no voice acting. How was I supposed to know that as a kid when I've literally never seen that name before? Like, come on. Let's be a little realistic here. That's not a name you see very often. I'm sure there is someone out there named Bartray. And you know, it's really cool that you're named, or not really, I was going to say named after a video game character. I doubt that that's probably where your name came from, but like, you know, like, it's cool that you have the same name as a character from a video game. It's just not a name I've seen very often. That's really what it boils down to. So yeah, my apologies if, like, that's really been eating at you guys the entire playthrough. But, you know, you can't break old habits that easily. It's not that easy. And of course we had more frickin' Cavalier units appear on this turn too. Hey, at least I got to use Sarah and use them for light magic, though. That's kind of cool. I believe this is the last... the last archer unit we have to destroy anyway. And with that, I believe we're down to the last units of this map, and we got Matthew right there. We're just going to get that chest, and after we grab the chest, we are going to cut footage past all the support grinding I'm going to be doing, and then we'll take on the boss and finish this chapter. So we are about done, guys. Thank you for putting up with my long-winded talking about weird stuff. I don't know, it's just, you know, I could have done this live and it would have been like probably more relevant and stuff, but it just didn't really work with the way I'm doing this playthrough. It just doesn't really work because it'd be a lot of like stopping recording, starting recording, or well, starting voice recording, then stopping voice recording while I was recording a long session of gameplay. It just would have been terribly inefficient. There'd be too many audio files, and it's just not something I want to deal with. But yeah, we got the last item. I'm going to go ahead and cut here, and we're going to be joining you at the boss. Okay, support grinding is done. Let's go ahead and work our way into this room. As I said before, be very, very careful with the boss here. He is using a light rune, which is, or light rune, a light brand, which is not that scary, but, you know, if he gets up close and personal, he is very dangerous, and that is not something we want to do. So, because of that, what we are going to do is we're going to try to play this so we're actually not going to be in his range. Or if we are in his range, it's just going to be through the indirect, non-lethal attack, as opposed to the up-close and personal and scary attacks. So, simple thing we got to do here, basically all we need is like a magic unit or someone with high resistance that can also counterattack. Farina is a really great choice. And, well, let's see what happens here. Just making sure everything was out of his range. And yes, he does move. See, 0 damage plus 215 damage attacks. Farina is awesome. And yeah, he's pretty much like dead at this point. I can literally just use a Steel Lance and kill him. Given if I miss and he gets a lethality, I could be dead, but I think 97 is good enough, so I decided to go for it. Jerme is dead, and that'll pretty much take care of the only threats of this chapter. All things considered, not a very hard chapter. Pretty long, but a lot of these chapters are. It's just the way it is. Especially if you're a perfectionist like I am and you want to get everything done within an efficient manner. That's just something you kind of have to come and expect. So here I'm just looking at like my levels to see who is the lowest level that can handle these guys. And from that I learned that I think Guy is probably the best way to finish this up, so I'm going to select him and going to let him do the honors, destroy these 2 Myrmidons, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of start wrapping up here. This has been SlimKirby. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you guys next time when I cover the next 3 chapters, which are all chapters we have seen before. And from that we'll move on and start working on the final wrap-up to Hector's mode. So, hope you guys are ready for that. Should be a lot of fun, and I'll see you guys then. Later, folks. Oswin. Lord Hector. Have you heard anything from my brother? When you say anything, come, you know, about his condition. No, nothing new. I see, that's good. Why do you ask? No reason, really. I'm simply concerned for my brother. Earlier, when I saw him in Ostia, he didn't look so well. When Father took ill and died, I wonder if he looked at all like that. Forget it, I'm worrying about nothing. If something were wrong, I'm sure you would have heard. Yes, indeed. Now that you mention it, I did forget something. Lord Uther sent word to you through a messenger. Oh? What did he have to say? Don't trouble Lord Eliwood by being overly obstinate. Just like my brother, always the same thing. How many times have I told him to stop treating me like a child? There's definitely something fishy about that.